The girl that stole Nancy Pelosi's computer. She
Right.
stole Nancy Pelosi's computer out of office, her laptop out of office. She told all the people that she's trying to get into get in touch with the Russians to sell the laptop so they can get all the secret information and stuff off it. They get this girl home confinement with her mom.
Home confinement.
She's 22 years old. She's a grown-up. She knows what the hell she do. They nailed us at 16 for stuff. There was an officer that got killed in that.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on?
That's home confinement, man. We already know, man. We talk this thing, man, all day long, every day. We already see what's going on, but they act like they refuse to acknowledge the unfairness and the injustice, man, that's been going on in our world, man, and it's crazy. I'm gonna give you an example of how people should how we categorize situations, and it was a situation where a story of a mother that was jailed, right? She was put in jail for 9 days and fined $30,000 because she lied on the application to send her 2 kids to another school district.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
She wasn't put on home confinement or none of that. She was put in jail, man.
Yeah. They give us jail time, but they tap them on the wrist. It's crazy.
Right. Man, if people can't understand what's going on with this situation, man, I'm not getting that. I'm not getting that.
It's crazy. I don't get it either. I'm trying to figure it all out. You know, home confinement, ain't no way nobody in there should have got home confinement.
Nah, nobody.
And a cash bond or some kind of bond to deal with. They all should have. That don't make no sense, man. I'm telling you, it is unequal and unfair.
Hey, look, I'm gonna give you one more example, right? Because I did a little research, and I had followed it when it happened years ago, or whatever. But it was I don't know if you remember, her name is Tanya McDowell. She was sentenced to 12 years for sending her 6-year-old son to a better school district. Guess what her sentence was? Guess what her sentence was, though?
What?
She was convicted of first-degree larceny of stealing an education. 12 years.
How you steal an education?
Because she lied because of her school district. She wasn't staying in the same school district, so she lied on the application. So they call that she stole the education. So they want, and the other girl, they want that $30,000. She got fined $30,000, so that $30,000 got to go to that school district.
That's crazy, man.
But this girl here went into the Capitol, federal offense, stole a laptop, talking about she gonna sell it to our enemies, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? All of it. Come on, man. Man, this is crazy, man. It's crazy, man.
It's crazy, and they won the. You know, when we were up there, they made 14,000 arrests for Black Lives Matter during the protest for Black Lives Matter. 14,000. They made a little over 140 now. A little over 140 arrests they made, compared to 14,000 for Black Lives Matter. That's crazy. It's crazy.
And that was just because they was there. Those people wasn't, you know what I'm saying, doing no rioting or nothing. They were just there doing a legal protest. And from what my understanding, from what I was hearing, is that a lot of the police officers and the task force or whatever, all of those people was provoking those Black Lives Matter protesters. Those police officers was provoking them. They went there to specifically to make them act up.
You're right. They did, because remember that it was in Atlanta and they had Black Lives Matter protests in Atlanta, and this girl burned down the Wendy's. She threw the brick through it, then she came back and threw some fire, some kind of fire product into the window, and the Wendy's caught on fire and burned down. And they tried to blame it on Black Lives Matter, but they were trying. One of the girls taped and say, "Hey, she's not with us. We are
right, exactly,
yeah,
exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
It's crazy.
It's crazy, man.
It's crazy, man. I'm talking about really crazy. You got to talk about 5 deaths happened, baby. 5 people died there. 5 people died there, and you gonna give this girl home confinement? Nobody should have home confinement. Does the Constitution
No, they should be
apply to me and you the same way it applies to them?
Not at all. It should be applied.
They make us post bond for DUI.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on? For DUI. Man, this don't make no sense. I can't figure it out. I really can't. I don't know what the deal is, but we need a new Black agenda for America. America needs a new Black agenda because we're not being treated fairly, equally. The Constitution does not apply to everybody the same. It's one for Black America, colored America, Black and brown America, and it's one for white America. And, you know, and I tell people, and I'm gonna say this a lot on my on all the platforms that I'm on. You know, we're creating a Black media network here so that we can give the news the way that we feel like the news should be represented and disseminated to the people, especially to our communities. We are just as mad with the Black devil as we are with the white devil. If it's a Black person that's a detriment to our community, then we are just as mad with him. I ain't gonna say that word I want to say. Mad with that person. So you get equal treatment here. You know, we just happen to wake up every morning when we look in the mirror, we are Black. And it's a lot of things that we don't get. Just like you see now, the conversations we're having, it's not equal. So we must talk about this. Right. So don't get on us about, oh, that's a racist state. No, it's not racist. Look on my Facebook pages and click on any of the white males on there and call them and ask them about me. They'll tell you they're my brother. That's what they'll tell you. They're my brother. So click on any of them on there. Those are my brothers. But don't think that I'm not going to call anybody out who's a detriment to my community. When I wake up in the morning, I know that I look in the mirror and I'm Black. I got mirrors in my house.
Hey, I've been through situations where I've been talking about racism in America, right? And like the racism that I've been through. Do you know that us as a Black and brown people, if as much as we scream racism, do you understand how they try to flip that thing and say that we being racism we being racist for saying we being treated as racist. Right. For saying we being racist for saying we being treated badly through the whole racist system. You see how they try to flip that over on us?
They flip it every time.
How can we be racist? Yeah. I always ask the people, how can we be racist? We don't have nothing to be racist about. we don't have the authority to be racist.
Yeah, you got to have power to be racist. You got to have power. We don't have any type of power over anybody to, you know, to construct them, to harm them in any way. I mean, you know, right. Things that might seem racist, but to be overall as a community, it's impossible for us to be racist. And we the Black people are the most forgiving people in the world. We're the first people that are wrong and the first people to extend the olive branch to the people that wrong us. You know, you just have to look at the person for who they are. Oh, we're not only talking about, when we talk about these people in the Capitol, all white people. We're talking about just those fools that went there.
Right, right.
So, people just got to understand that. You take us for who we are. There's nothing racist about you or I.
Right. What they need to do, what America needs to do, they need to address that whole racist system. Once they address it, that's when we'll begin to start shaping and molding a whole new system. I don't think the Constitution is bad all the way. I think that people need to follow the Constitution the way the Constitution supposed to be followed. You know what I mean? And then once the people address the racist issues that we got in America, then we go looking forward and try to come up with a solution where we can see everybody as being equal instead of us, you know what I'm saying, playing the back burner. The black and brown people always been playing the back burner forever, even though we were some of the first ones who created a lot of the things that the white folks done put their names on. You know what I'm saying? All the way from medical equipment, from just everyday household products and stuff. A lot of this stuff we created as a people, and we not getting recognized, acknowledged for it, and they taking all the credit for it and putting us on the background. So we need to address the issue. We need President Biden and Vice President Harris to come up with a black agenda that will put us out in the forefront and say, we need somebody to stick up and say, you know what? These people have been treated badly all these years. It's time for us to acknowledge that and time for us to do something about that without those white folks saying, well, what about us?
That's correct. That's correct.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't about y'all, right? It's about us. It's been about y'all for thousands of years. It ain't about y'all no more.
Forever. That's correct. I want to say hello to April Kelly. We want to say, hey, Mona Lisa Monroe. Glad to have y'all watching. Y'all got any questions? Y'all send them in to us. We'll be happy to tackle anything. We're going to move on to our next subject, which is COVID. I think it's COVID-19 in the prison system. You know, this show is about us helping guys transition, women and men transition back into society. So we try to touch on these subjects, but sometimes we have to get into subjects that, and everything that we do on this show, it applies to everybody coming home too, because they're free now. They're back re-entering society, and they need to be informed also. So everything we touch, we try to touch some of everything so that they can be informed. But our next topic is COVID-19 in the prison system. We've been seeing a lot of videos lately, AB, of these guys sending, you know, they got illegal cell phones, but it's good that they have them because they're showing us that there are people in there suffering. They're letting people die. I saw a video the other day where they just letting them die. One guy in another cell over Holland, he's so sick he can't hardly breathe, and they just letting them die. I guess the guard's scared to come and get him because they feel like the person will give it to them. But where you think those people got it from?
That was my question. I was going to ask. They're also scared to get it. Okay, well, how did it get in there? One of y'all gave it to them.
Exactly. The officer gave it to them. You know, and the guards giving the virus to the inmates giving it to other inmates, and that's how it's spreading around. That's how it's spreading. They're not free to be out here to go get it unless somebody's spraying it through the air dumps or something and giving it to the inmates in prison trying to get it.
Right.
You know, we put nothing past this government now. You know, the greatest government on the face of the earth, but it's the most treacherous, diabolical government also. You know, we can't.
You're right.
Yeah, we can't put that past them. Yeah, man. Right.
So now you got to ask, you got to question yourself or question the authority, right, as far as the officers and stuff. How are they getting tested? We need to know what is the procedure, the proper procedure of them getting tested, like upon coming into work for that day, are they getting tested the same way that you have to get tested? I know, like when you go into the courthouse, before you go in the courthouse, they do the forehead scanning of tests or whatever. They do the ear testing and all that stuff like that. Do that work?
I don't think so. I think that this virus has transformed into something else now, and they say that it is different variants of this virus is now says more contagious, but it's less deadly. That's what they're saying.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
1,000 people dying a day now from COVID. Now, it could be that the hospitals are inflating these numbers because they get $40,000 per death. So the hospitals might be inflating these numbers a little bit, but we're not going to go with that. We're going to go with if 4,000 people a day dying. Remember, New York had 600 some people dying per day when it first started up in New York. But it's 4,000 people dying per day now. That's crazy.
Yeah.
From COVID, you know.
Yeah, right. COVID-19, which has taken over the flu.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's you can't even go to the doctor anymore, and what would normally be a flu symptom, they don't mark that out. Ain't no more flu.
Yeah. Okay.
Come on. Yeah. No, man, this here is conspiracy. This here don't make no sense to me, man. This don't make no sense to me, man.
And that temperature
ain't no more chicken pox. Ain't no more chicken pox. Ain't no more flu. Ain't no more. Is AIDS still around? Is HIV still around?
That no more. AIDS is the backdrop to the back. You know, you don't hear about AIDS no more. The temperature check does not work, I don't think, because people are walking around every day. How about that super spreader they had at the White House? They checked everybody's temperature who went in there, and 12 people still got it. Even Donald Trump. You know, so you know, we got to get some kind of help, because what they do in the prison system, from all these videos we're seeing on, these guys are posting on YouTube and Facebook and everything, showing the conditions in there, and the prison system hides it. They can hide it because they can, and that's what they do. They hide it. It's crazy.
I have I'm gonna talk to. I got a few family members that recently came home from prison. Hopefully I get a chance, if it's God's will, I'm gonna get a chance to talk to them, and hopefully on the next Friday, I have some information on that. Their situation dealing with the COVID-19 in the prison systems, in the prison where they was at. I know they was two of them was in Philadelphia, one was in New Jersey, and I think one somewhere out there on the West Coast. I'm gonna talk to them hopefully this weekend or early part of next week, see if I can get some information on how they was dealing with it when they was incarcerated, and I don't know if they attracted it while they was in there or not, but I'm gonna hopefully try to get some inside scoop on what they went through when they was in the prison. Cause that COVID, man, is no joke in out here in society and in the prison system. I don't know. Did you say the totals, or do you know the totals of inmates? The ratio of the inmates and officers in the prison system that had died from COVID-19 so far?
No, Keith Richardson will be on the show next week. He texted me this morning and said he'll be on the show next week, and that he'll have some numbers for us the best as he can get.
Great, good. That's good. Yeah,
that's but it's crazy. Should the inmates be vaccinated first before the elderly?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
One state was they had it scheduled to vaccinate the inmates, but then I think it was Florida, and then they stepped in and said, no, we're not going to let you do that. We're going to vaccinate the elderly in the nursing homes first. But Florida, I believe it was Florida, they were going to do theirs first. Florida, New Orleans, somewhere where it was getting out of control. They were going to vaccinate the inmates first, but they stopped. So that's a tricky question. They say that the inmates have life to live, even though they're doing time. That the elderly have lived a life for a long time, most of them 80, 90 years old, and that they're willing to let them go. So it's a really a thin line when you talk about it.
Yeah, that's a thin line, because for one, you can't tell how long an elderly person gonna live. That elderly person that you putting before that inmate, or that inmate you putting before that elderly person, suppose that elderly person 75, they might live to be 105. You never know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but that's if they choose to take the vaccine. You know what I'm saying? Hey, my thing is the vaccine should be for only the ones who want to take the vaccine.
Right.
You know what I mean? It shouldn't be mandatory. It shouldn't be forced on nobody. It shouldn't be, scare tactic to say we got more variants of the COVID now. It's stronger than ever, so you must take the vaccine. Nah, I am not going for that. I'm not going for that scare tactic where you try to tell me there's a stronger strain now. You know what I'm saying? It's more potent now. So you need to reconsider taking this vaccine. I ain't going for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm gonna take? You know what I'm gonna keep taking? I'm gonna keep taking the juices. I'm gonna keep taking the lemons, oranges, all the citrus. I'm gonna keep doing what I've been doing. I haven't been to a doctor for no type of cold since I was a kid, because of the way I eat, the things that I put in my body, the things that I drink, the things that I eat, and the exercises that I do. That's all I need. I'm gonna tell them people that's all I need. I'm not about to go break the process that I've been doing all these years to go do something that you want me to do because of a scheme that you got going on. I'm not doing that vaccine. Y'all can do it. Let me know, Julius. Hey, you do it, and then, you know what I'm saying, let me know so I can do a countdown of 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or a month, and start seeing how you react.
I'm not taking anything. I don't even take the flu shot. I took the flu shot about 17, 18 years ago. It made me sick, and I've never taken it again. And I've been just fine. I haven't taken it in 17 years.
Right. Hey, we got the next top. The next thing is, you think the inmates should get stimulus checks?
Yeah, I think they should, because you're coming home and you don't want these guys to go back into prison. What you want is a way for them to stay out. I think that the government, it should have been somewhere where they saying, okay, if you're released and you didn't file the taxes in the last 2 years, and you've been in there the last 2 years, but you have a history of working and file taxes, that you should be able to get some type of help, because that'll stop you from going to rob that store. That'll stop you from, that just shows somebody cared.
What about the ones that I don't think that they're able to work like they normally work in the prison system? So they're not getting paid like they normally get paid. So where are they gonna get the money from to buy the necessary stuff that they need, like commissary and stuff like that? So you think that they need some money also? Not the ones that's getting ready to come home. I'm talking about the ones that's gonna be in there for a while and don't have finances to help them along the way.
That's a good question, because being that we're in this pandemic, everybody's not working like they should be working. A lot of jobs are laying off, so people don't have the disposable income that they used to have. And inmates rely on their families to send them money inside the prison, to put it on their books so they can shop and everything. You're absolutely correct. That's a good question. I wasn't thinking from that point of view. So you can't send that money in prison no more. So, like you used to, because one of the people in the house might have been laid off. So
Right.
yeah, that's a good. It needs to be some type of stimulus for those guys inside also. And I don't care whether it's $150.
Right.
Give it to them.
Yeah, because you got to think. We came from the prison system, man. We worked in landscaping jobs, worked in the kitchen, some worked in the library, some worked in the car, what's that, the auto and all of that, and the sweatshops and stuff like that. That's where a lot of the inmates was getting their money from. Working those type of jobs. Unicorn, you know what I mean? That's where they was getting their money from, on top of whatever money that their family can send to them. But those jobs are not functioning the same way anymore during this pandemic.
No, they're not. They're not.
So these inmates here, man, they don't have, they in there, man, really, really, really struggling to live. The hygiene's got to be messed up in there.
Yeah, and one of the questions was, not to go back just one little bit, was if an inmate died there from COVID, and he's been in there for 4 or 5 years, or 3 years, let's say over 2 years, because COVID just got here, and he's been there the whole time, and he wasn't able to go out to bring COVID in. There isn't any visitations or anything because of COVID. So should that person be able, or that family of that person, once that inmate dies, to be able to bring suit against the state for giving them COVID?
Hey, here we go again with another good question. That's a good question. Somebody has to be compensated. You know what I'm saying? That family needs to be compensated. I don't know where the responsibility lie at, but I think they need to sue the prison system or whatever, man, and get compensated for that.
Yeah,
that's my take on that.
Yeah, don't have to. That's the only way that they can get compensated. They got to. That's the only way that they can get compensated.
Right.
Those people are paying a debt to society, and it is it's thought of that once they pay their debt to society, or while they're paying their debt to society, that debt is no longer a debt. So you have to be able to say that you have to protect these people, because the law says you're only in there for 16 months, then you're in there for 16 months, and then you're free. But here it is, you dying in there before you get a chance to get out. No, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Have some type of reparations for that, for inmates dying. And it's crazy in there, because I have been getting on Facebook and Instagram and Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, you see these inmates posting it. I mean, they used to post rap videos, but they can't even get to that part no more to post rap videos. You got rappers in there doing their thing. But it's just something that needs to be addressed in every state.
Right.
Well, okay, we was on these stimulus checks for newly released inmates. So for newly released inmates, and you getting a check, even if you don't get a check, I think if you got a family member that's coming home and you really want to do good by them, then take part of your stimulus check and start them a business. I don't care whether it's a hot dog stand. I don't care what it is. Make pressing T-shirts, cutting grass. Go buy them a zero-turn lawnmower. Go buy them some lawnmower. Whatever it is, that person is showing a will to work, then help them out. Take your stimulus check and help them out.
Right.
Yeah, we got.
But I know that would be the best thing to do. Another option. People say, they want to pay the bills off and all that, but like you said, I think the better thing to do, if you got somebody that need their help more than you do, invest in that person. You know what I'm saying? It's good to pay off your bills if you know that's what you need to do, whatever. But for God's sake, brothers and sisters, don't be out here getting that stimulus check and you call yourself balling out. Go get your brand new Air Jordans and you know what I'm saying. Go get the $200-300, $500 pair of jeans and you know what I mean, and doing this and you're partying every weekend. You know what I mean? It's just a waste, man. I don't think those. You know what? I think people who getting them stimulus checks need to be screened. You know what I'm saying? Stimulus check need to be given to the ones, man, that's gonna do something productive with that money, not just waste it, man. It ain't for that. I don't think God is allowing us to be able to have these stimulus checks to go out here and waste it. I think it's a wake up call for us. It's a wake up call to us to something that's supposed to benefit us. Man. It don't supposed to be hurting us. Getting these stimulus checks is supposed to benefit us, and I hope that people would take heed to that and do something positive and productive with those stimulus checks.
Even if you got 5 people saying, okay, we know Gary coming home this month, and we know Mark coming home next month. Let's take our stimulus checks and let's take a $1,500 each of each one, and if it's because it's supposed to be $2,000. Let's take $1,000 each, and let's start something for them to do together. You know, we don't want them back in jail because it costs us for them to go there. We got to start sending them money again. So let's see what we can do. You know, instead of going to buy those Air Jordans, like AB said, instead of going, you know, pay a credit card off. Pay a utility bill. Pay a car note. You know, but that person is gonna need some help. You know, before you go talk about buying Air Jordan, partying, going to buy new outfits just to go to the club for somebody to see you shake your butt. You know, back in our day, that's what we wanted to see. But you know, we older and more mature now, so we don't need to see any of that. But
hey, look. That $2,000 can get gone real quick in the weekend.
It sure can. Especially when
you know what I'm saying.
Hey, especially when you're in the club balling.
Exactly. You got that free money, you balling. Then when you get home, and realize that shit gone, you messed up.
Yeah. You ain't paying.
You can't blame nobody but yourself, man.
The water off, so you can't even wash your butt.
That's crazy. That's crazy. But you just had $2,000. All right.
Yeah,
what is the church? Hey, okay, now what this right here is a touchy one here, co-host. What is the church role when it comes to society, when it comes to what's going on, the resources for this COVID-19? What is the role of the church?
I don't know. I don't even know if my producer spelled church right there, did it? You got too many
That's
C's.
good. That's right there. That's right. You right.
Hey, the role of the church. You know, the role of the church. That's a good one. No,
don't hold back. Don't get scared. Don't be scared to talk about the church.
I don't know. Gabrielle said Julius ain't going nowhere. Going nowhere where? No, I ain't going out in the street.
All right, well, look,
students now. They're not even giving college students. That's bad too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, good choice to give inmates stimulus. Yeah, that I think that we should. But the role of the church, you want to tackle it first, or do you want me? Because see, the role of the church is supposed to be to help everybody, especially if you go to that church. When the church should have something when they know somebody's coming home. Bring that person in so they can be a productive member of the church. Bring that person in and nurture. The church has money. They can buy him a piece of coffee. They can help put him up somewhere where they can have some shelter over their heads. But the church has to have a more active role. Now, I understand that it's a COVID-19 pandemic right now, but before all this, the church still should have had. You got some churches that are actively trying to participate and have a release programs. You have some churches that go and have ministries inside the prisons, and they got different. But the churches as a whole, it is a multi-billion-dollar industry. The church has become a business. So if you're gonna make God out of business, then do God's work. Get out and try to help these guys once they get out of prison.
Right. You're absolutely right. What those church members do every time they go to church is they invest their life to the church.
Yeah.
They invest their life into the church in return of getting redemption or whatever from God or whatever. So the church also have to invest in those members. You know what I mean? The church members go in there, they invest in all of their time, they invest in their money. So why not the church invest their time and in their money into the members? You know, like you said, they need to come out of the church building and go out into the community and provide not just resources, but like you said, they billions of dollars. That entity, man, is a huge entity. So they have the funds to go out here and help those that are in need. You know, those that need light bill paid, those that need a house to stay in, those that need transportation. Take some of that money that those church members invested in, and, invested their money in, and give right back to them. That's what it should be about. That's what it should be about.
That is absolutely right, because you got money, you got training, you got housing, you got transportation, all these things that the church can do to help. You got souls to the polls every time they get ready to vote. You got what's that other little box that they have over to the side? Sometimes they got the regular collections, they got another collect, they got the building fund. Then they got this one other one.
I don't know. I ain't never been to church.
Give to, and they fed the hungry and everything. On that third one, the benevolent offering or something like that. It's something like that. But still, you need to have that where you can bring a good deacon into the church. You know, some of these guys might have been saved. So when they come to you, pastor, and they just getting out of prison, give them a job in the church. Let them paint the church. Let them do something. Do something with those tithes and offerings besides sticking them and putting it in your pocket. I know they always say I'm a all-over pastor on the church, but hey, it's the truth. We got to do something to help people from going back inside that hellhole. Yeah, I know it's on them, it's their fault. But still, we got to be able to do something to stop it. Our next thing was, what is the role of the government?
The government doing their part, man. The government doing exactly what they want to do.
Yeah.
And the government been doing this for years, man. The government is the one responsible for all of this. So the government's sitting back waiting to see how we gonna play this our part.
Yeah, but the recidivism is at about a 30% clip. I think that's what the last numbers were. So
I think it was something.
They got to find a way to stop that. You got to curb that. And if you don't get a hold of these guys, the probation officers and the different programs that are out there for anybody coming home from prison, they need to have access to a job. A lot of jobs won't hire. You got the county and the city and the federal governments that will ask you, have you ever been convicted of a crime? They will ask you that on everything. If you make a victim of a crime, and the government holding you back right there because they don't want to hire you. Not even
Right.
the dump trash. So, we got to figure that out also. We got to figure out what's the role of the government. You got drug treatment programs. Make sure that person ain't back on drugs. Ought to be part of the conditions for their release. Most times it is if the probation officer, but it's only for a certain length of time. Then the person is back out and on drugs.
I got four things that'll help slow down recidivism. It's not gonna stop it, but it'll slow it down and hopefully be some type of cure for it. One is improving the individual motivation factors. Like you said, you got to motivate these people. They have to have some type of things going on in their life to motivate them not to want to go out here and do things that's gonna bring them back into the prison life or whatever. Then you got early assessment of his or her risk and needs. You got to look at these people as when they come into the system or before they come into the system. You got to look at and you got to assess them. You got to look at the risk factors early on. You know what I mean? And then you got incorporate more education and entrepreneurship courses into incarceration. You have to have that. You have to have that. And then, like you said, you got to improve the substance abuse treatment. Those are the four most important things that puts people into recidivism or put them into the incarceration. And then, that there's three different types of offenders. You got to break that down. You got to understand the three types of offenders. You got the general offender that just doing a little petty crime out here. You got the violent offenders, and you got the sex offenders. So you got to evaluate all of that and understand their point of view and why they continue to do the things that they do. So I think it should be a lot of mental health programs and stuff to assess these people, man, and a lot of these programs. And once we do that, man, like I said, it won't stop recidivism, but a lot of those programs, man, will slow it down and hopefully be some type of cure for it.
That's correct. It'll curb it. You got once you get home, and what we try to do on this program, we try to tell them what resources they have available to them so they can not have to go rob somebody or take something from somebody. You got the food stamp program where they can go and participate in. It's a short-term thing, but it helps you to get that food so that you won't have to go and beg nobody or you won't have to go and rob nobody. You got job training agencies out there. You got the temp services. You got one of the best things in the world, and I think is like DoorDash and Uber and Lyft. If you got a record and it's been recently, Lyft and Uber probably will kick you off of the platform, but you probably can get on some of these other platforms just to deliver food. They got grocery delivery services. They got all kinds of stuff for you to do. You just got to look out there and say, hey, I want to work, instead of going back into the system. I want to be able to work. We got 8 minutes left, and we want to get to our last topic, and that was what is our role? People like me and you, people, we're doing what we're doing. You can go ahead and start on it. You said it a mouthful when we first started. What's our role?
Hey, our role is to help these individuals that's coming home from prison, or if the ones that's not in prison, man, just help them understand a better way of doing things, creative thinking and stuff like that'll help them out here in society. And my thing is, the key thing is entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is gonna be the next big thing right now in the years to come. And those individuals that's getting out of prison, the ones that's not incarcerated, even just black and brown people that wouldn't ordinarily acceptable, you know what I'm saying? People like the banks and stuff like that, they wasn't giving us loans and stuff to start businesses compared to what they do to, other race of people. They was quick to get them business loans and stuff like that. So the key thing is entrepreneurship. So what we doing, one of our things over here in Incarceration to Incorporation is we help those ones that are potential entrepreneurs. We help match them with the investors that would jumpstart their business or to help their business grow. So again, my thing is the key thing is entrepreneurship, Julius. That's the key thing, and I want you to stress that out to your friends and family, man. I'm gonna stress it to my friends and family. Help the ones that can be helped to start their own business, so they won't be dependent on somebody else hiring them. They go out there and do the hiring themselves. They can hire somebody, hire 1 or 2 employees, and you know what I'm saying. And that's what it's all about. It's about entrepreneurship, man. That's what I wanted. That's what It's not just about mentorship, which is an important part. But the most important part, man, is entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship programs. Get into the entrepreneurship, start your own business. That's my.
And the way that we do that is by us with our support. We're going till 6:00. We got 6 minutes. We're gonna go till 7:06 because we started late because of a technical issue. So we're gonna be going for 6 minutes. We're gonna get the full hour in. So when we upload it, it'll be an hour. So that's for anybody that's wondering that is after 7. We're gonna go till 7:05, 7:06. But to touch back on this subject, our role and our responsibility to these people who we know and who we left and who are now getting out, our role is to give them that support, like you just said. It comes in the form of what educational resources that they can have. It comes in the form of what job training programs are available to them. It comes in the form of any type of self-employment opportunities, like opening up you a hot dog stand, a hamburger stand. I don't care if it's a shoe stand. We got to be able to tell these people that this is available to you. You can do these things, and then we need to see any of the brothers out here that are doing good after they got out. Let's see what kind of support or help that we can get for you in that city that you're in, because we know people all over this country, you and I. We know people in every state. There's no state out, even in Idaho. We got friends in Idaho. So our reach is long. Sometimes those people might not have the resources or can't help them, but we need to still reach out. We might can give them that information. It's about information. It's about health and spiritual guidance. Eating right, living right, having a spiritual presence about yourself, to know that God brought you out of there, so be thankful for it, and to march the right way now. It's about networking opportunities that you and I have for them. You got 2 or 3 businesses. I'm proud of you, brother. You got that clothing business there. You see the tape around his neck, everybody. He has his own business. He make these hats. This is his hats. This is his clothing line. Y'all see, I got it all. I got it all. He got warm-ups, tennis shoes, everything. He does it all. So I'm proud of you, brother, because you
thank you, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
And you got your own other business with the lawn care and all. You're doing what you're supposed to do. So we setting examples. Our role is to set an example for anybody that's coming out, so that they can see that there is a chance, that it ain't over yet, and that you can start fresh. Don't worry about what anybody say. You think Julius care about anything that anybody say? They wanted to say Julius, they thought that they could bring up Julius been to prison. Hell, Julius made up a show called Incarceration to Incorporation, so you could know I've been to prison. Don't give a damn what you think.
Right.
I pay me. I hustle. I pay me. So it don't matter what anybody else out there think about Julius. Julius gonna be better than most people out there. And I'm not bragging. I'm just gonna tell you, that's how I hustle every day.
Well, let me say this though. I know when I was incarcerated, I had a landscaping job, right? And I used to be at that job saying that when I come home, I ain't never gonna cut no grass unless it's grass in my own house. I'm not working for nobody in no landscape. But let me tell you something, man. I got this clothing store. It's been right now functioning for over a year now, a little over a year. And the reason why it's functioning like it is because I use the funds, the capital. I use the money from that landscaping business. I made the money from that landscaping business, saved that money, and what I did, I got my credit right through that landscaping business.
Right.
I got my credit right, you know what I'm saying, through getting paid every week. I got a raise through that landscaping company. Now, you know what I'm saying, I'm making more money through that landscaping company to be able to fund the rest of the other businesses that I have. You know what I'm saying? So I used to say to myself that I'm not getting no land, I'm not cutting no more grass, but I got 11 contracts that I do, and they all commercial contracts. They're not residential. I do the lawn care of all tobacco warehouses and other feed warehouses and stuff like that. I'm the only one. I'm a one-man show to that landscaping business that I started. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
to those that's out there listening in, man, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, it's about knowing that you got to hustle. If you can sell drugs on the corner for 8, 10 hours, you can certainly cut some grass. You can certainly sell a hot dog. You can certainly fix a car if you got those kind of skills. You know, and we have a mentoring program that we're going to be implementing through incarceration to incorporation. So y'all just stand by. Our time is up. We've been on for that 1 hour. We're sorry about being late. We're sorry about running over 5 minutes, but we had to get all our subjects in. AB, we'll see you next week. We hope to have some other guests on. They were all scheduled. We know Keith Richardson will be here to tell us about COVID in the prison systems. And I think Dr. Gilliard will be on next week. So y'all stay tuned to next week, Incarceration to Incorporation.
All right, see y'all next Friday from 6 to 7.